What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Endzone, the football show by guys who just love football. It's your host, Craig.
Your boy Ace.
And we're here to bring you some updates. We got a lot of good updates this week. You know, the past couple weeks hasn't been a lot going on in football, but we do have a full show for you today. I think you're going to like what's going on, and we're going to jump right into it. Alex Hearns getting cut by the Dallas Cowboys. And this is kind of like testing the market type of situation where they wanted him to take a pay cut. He wants to see if he can get more. What do you think?
Well, I think it's actually good because I think it's good because he has 70 catches, 295 yards, 2 TDs last season.
Yeah.
He had a $12 million contract, but with Cooper Cobb and Trevon Austin, they do got receivers over there.
And they got Michael Gallup.
But over his career at Baltimore, Jacksonville, he had 189 catches, 2,669 yards in 4 seasons. And he broke his fibula. So I feel like, he tested a market to see where he would be and what he's worth, but I don't think a lot of teams are going to pick him up because of the simple fact is he's kind of like injury prone.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I've always really liked Allen Hearns. I liked him when he was on Jacksonville. He got signed as an undrafted free agent 2014. He did have his best season in 2015 with 64 receptions, 1,031 yards, and 10 TDs. But he hasn't had that kind of success since that time. But I do like him as a wide receiver. I think that he needs to go to a team that needs wide receiver help. And when I think of that, the first team that comes to my mind that he could, he might not get the money he wants, but I think he'd get the play time is the Washington Redskins.
Yeah, which is true, but at the end of the day, he's chasing money.
He is.
So he's not worried about playing time or anything like that. He's worried about the money. But on the flip side of things, Dallas wants to sign Zeke for a long-time contract.
And Dak.
So they saving $5 million, which gave their salary cap to $24 million. So with that being said, I think Dallas did well in that aspect of things. But at the end of the day, I understand the man that wants to get paid. But I don't think he's worth what he thinks he's going to get.
Yeah.
If that makes...
It makes perfect sense. With an injury that he received, he claims he's at 90%.
Which is I doubt.
Yeah, I doubt that as well too.
Yeah.
Anybody whenever someone says what percentage they're at health wise, it's definitely a little bit lower than that.
Yeah.
And that's just the man in them. You know what I'm saying? The guy who wants to play and who believes he can fight through it is going to say he's stronger than what he is.
Absolutely.
So therefore, I don't think that he is worth what he wants. He's definitely low on the totem pole in Dallas. We just brought that up. So I think he has to go to a team that is going to give him as close to the dollar amount that he wants. If you want money, you got to go to a team that is in desperation mode. And I don't think at wide receiver there's a team more desperate than the Washington Redskins. And I don't think he's going to get what he wants, though. Not even close.
I don't think he's I think with most teams, if they're smart, whether it's the Washington Redskins or whoever, I think most teams will only sign him for a 1-year deal.
Of course.
Make him earn his money, make him see if he's going to still be healthy, and then from there, I think he could be okay. But as far as me thinking he's worth more than what he expect, I think he was better off staying in Dallas.
That could be very well the case. But, because even with Allen Robinson, another Jacksonville Jaguar, 2 seasons in a row, didn't make it very far. One season, I think he got hurt week 1. Another time, I think he got hurt a few games into the season. Now he's on Chicago. He's doing really well. I don't expect the same type of return from Allen Hearns, but I think he's definitely overshooting his value.
He broke his fibula.
Yeah.
That's the main bone that you can possibly break. So it's like...
Yeah,
what do you expect out of that?
Yeah, I don't know what I really can't understand what he could be expecting to get, but I do hope that he returns to form. Maybe by the time season starts, he's 100%, and whatever team gets him, he gets to shine bright. But the future is.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to. Me, honestly speaking, I don't think he's going to return into form. I just think he's basically a done deal. and I think he's just chasing a paycheck so he can get out the league with a little bit of money.
And that's not necessarily the dumbest thing to do. You know, it's a smart
Not at all.
move. Try to see if you can get someone to pay you, even though you might not be able to bring it. So,
Absolutely.
Watch out for Allen Hurns. See what happens. Is he gonna have value for a team, or is his career on the downward spiral? Only the future will tell, and we'll see what happens with that. Next on the list, we got Tyler Boyd, who gets extended by the Cincinnati Bengals. The number 2 wide receiver for the team gets a 4-year, $43 million deal. He was a second-round 2016 pick. What do we think? Do we think Cincinnati made the right decision?
Great decision. And the only reason why I'm saying that's a great decision because, like, within his first couple years, he had 76 catches for 828 yards. But last season, he had 76 catches for 1,028 yards. And he's averaging 13.5 per reception. And he also has 7 TDs. So reason why I like this, you know how I am. So reason why I like this is due to the simple fact is he's improving every single season that he's been in the league. And that just opens it up for someone like A.J. Green to get a little bit more money too. And I think he deserves a payday also. So I do love this. I love how they basically, because you know A.J. Green got to be the number 1 receiver. So I love how they paid off the number 2 receiver in order to give the number 1 receiver a little bit more money. And I think that A.J. Green's going to have a payday, which is he well deserved.
Absolutely.
And I can't be mad at this due to the simple fact is he improved every year.
I'm a fan of Tyler Boyd.
You love Tyler Boyd.
I do love Tyler Boyd. I think I see flashes of A.J. Green in Tyler Boyd. They have very similar build. Obviously, A.J. Green's a little taller, a little longer, but they're very similar. So I think that when the day comes that if they decide to move on from A.J. Green, I think that they have their replacement in Tyler Boyd, and that's what I think they're telling him right here. We're going to give you a little over $10 million for the next 4 years, and if you can continue, maybe we extend you a little bit further than that. But they're saying that you're our guy. We know that that you're the future of our franchise, and I think I agree. I can't agree with you more. They've made the right decision, and they needed to lock this guy down because other teams are going to come hunting.
And it's all about having faith in your guys, like. That right there shows that there will be no distractions over there with them. That shows that they trust and believe in him. And I think, like we're trying to say is, I think that will open up the doors for A.J. Green to get more money. And I love it. I really do.
I think it's a really dangerous wide receiver combination they have over there with these two guys, especially if A.J. Green can stay healthy.
Because a couple of weeks back, you ranked them as like, what, number 2 or 3?
I definitely had them high up on the list of top receiving duos.
You did.
I definitely did because I think they're dangerous. They bring a high level of threat to any defense.
Absolutely.
So like we said, it's always about the future. It's about game time and seeing what they can output. But the future looks bright for the likes of Tyler Boyd, who finished out last season with a career high. So I hope we get to see more from these two, and we'll see what happens when the season starts. Next, we're gonna move on to linebacker Deion Jones, who also receives an extension. He gets $4 million. He gets a 4-year deal, $57 million, and he was what was that? 34 guaranteed. 34 guaranteed. That's a big guarantee for a $57 million contract. What do you think about this one?
I love it because last season he played in 6 games. He had 53 tackles, 34 solo. And then in 2017, he had 138 tackles with 91 solos and 10 TFLs, which is tackles for loss, and 3 picks at the linebacker position. But what I do like is that the Falcons is actually they're paying them guys. What I love, but if you look at his production in 2017, 2018.
Super Bowl season.
Yeah, he did well. Then the next season, he got hurt, but he still put up good numbers in those 6 games that he played.
And it showed when he got hurt because Atlanta's production went down.
And then now, you know, he's back. He's probably back to healthy now, 100% healthy, and they're actually paying him in order to do the job that they need him to do.
Yeah.
And I respect it and I love it.
And paying him means that they do believe.
They believe in him.
Their 2017 Pro Bowl candidate is ready to come back and make the impact. And he's part of that new breed of linebackers, those smaller, faster, hard-hitting. Like, he's not the big linebacker. He's the fast, hard-hitting. And that's what the NFL is turning towards. And Dion Lewis is like the poster child for the smaller, faster linebackers.
And just think about it. He had 3 picks at the linebacker position, so he got some type of hands with him too. So
he's great at the pass coverage.
Yeah,
That's where he does.
That's his thing.
His work. Yeah. So I agree with you. I love this. It's showing the respect for a guy who got hurt and knowing that he is one of the most pivotal parts of your defense and giving him the money to say that. So
absolutely,
we're on the same page.
Good job out the blink.
All right, next on the list, another Atlanta Falcon getting his payday, and that's Grady Jarrett. He gets $68 million over the next 4 years. He's a 5th-round draft pick in 2015. Atlanta's going to pay him his money, and what do we think about that one?
I love that one too.
Yeah.
And the only reason why, I'm going to tell you this, the only reason why I love that pick is because, there's a lot of great D linemen out there, and he's just an inch away from being a Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
But he hasn't been a Pro Bowler yet just because there's so many hybrid D linemen out there that it's tough for him.
Correct.
So as far as him playing his role, Atlanta brought him in. They signed him to a 1-year deal last year, and they feel like he lived up to that dream and expectation. He proved himself, and now you're going to give him a good payday, which is good. But also, like we're going to talk about at the end of the show, so I don't want to jump the gun a little bit, but J.J. Wilcox tore his ACL. So that kind of is like, okay, that puts a burden to the defense a little bit with him tearing his ACL. So why not pay 2 guys in 2 different positions, whereas we can keep this defense together and make something happen. So I really like what they did, and I really like how they did it. And not to mention Julio's on the clock, too, to have a payday.
Yep. But it's also showing that they know that in order to get into the playoffs, in order to try to get that Super Bowl run again, we need to invest in our defense.
Absolutely.
We need to make these guys happy, and they're showing that. To me, that's smart because if you don't know the statement, if you don't know the quote, then you don't know football. But defense wins championships.
Absolutely.
And
offense wins ball games.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, they know that they need this, and they're proving it. They're showing their guys that they value them, and I couldn't be happier with this. 179 tackles, 31s for loss. He had 27 solo tackles, 6 sacks. 3 forced fumbles. This guy, in 2018, this guy is putting in work. And I think in the Super Bowl against the Patriots, he was the guy who was disrupting Brady. He was bringing Brady to the ground. So they definitely got their guy, and they're paying him his money. I like it.
And I like how they did the process with him. They signed him for a 1-year deal, make you earn your money.
Yeah.
He proved that he can earn that money,
and
then now they're actually paying him that money. So I respect that to the 10th power at all because. Yeah, I like for me personally in the NFL, I like when teams sign guys for 1-year deals, make them prove themselves, and then when they do, you pay them. Because a lot of times teams sign guys for 1-year deals unless someone else take them and the other team pays them. So I like that he was able to stay in Atlanta. I like that they built on their defense first. Because, like we're saying, defense is the most important part of the game.
Yeah.
So they put a lot of money into their defense, and now I think Julio could get a contract extension come July 27th or 29th or something like that.
Okay.
So now, in turn, you come back and you sign Julio for a good contract and make him probably one of the top 5 high-paid receivers.
He's got to be in the top 5.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then I think that will just help them out throughout the rest of the way because everybody's paid, everybody's happy. Now let's just play football and not worry about all the other stuff.
Yep. And both these guys, after getting their contracts, said the same thing. That we're not complacent, we're still hungry, and that just shows that for their love for the game. So once again, we'll see what happens once the season starts, but it's looking real good for Atlanta on the defensive side of the ball. On a sadder note, that's why I put it in the middle of the show, is if you haven't heard yet, we kind of missed it out on last week because we had to take a break, but Kendrick Norton, defensive lineman of Miami, gets released, and if you don't know why, he was in a car accident and had to have his arm amputated.
Yeah.
So basically, football career over. But what I respect is Miami decides to still pay the man.
And you know me, I love that.
Yes,
I
you
love
do.
that. Like, I love how they don't give up on their guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, he just had a freak accident, hit a concrete barrier, had a freak accident. I don't think he was at fault either.
No,
So
they said he was.
Yeah.
He changed into a lane.
Okay.
And he clipped the front of a car and sent himself into a barrier.
Okay.
He actually was at fault.
Okay, so he was
So
at fault.
that makes it even better by
So that
Miami.
makes it even better then.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't even too sure on the story. I just know the stories was that, he was driving a SUV truck, a Ford F-150 or whatever like that, hit a concrete barrier, and then he had to get his arm amputated. So that team still decide to pay him his money, let him go because they realize, okay, let's pay you. You need it more than anything. And hospital bills and all that type of stuff adds up. But they're all covering everything. So I love that. I just love it.
I do.
I love it.
And he's already being set up to get a prosthetic.
Yep.
So granted, his football career is over, but his life isn't. And I do value what they're doing for him because if you don't know a lot about Kendrick Norton, I think he was drafted by Carolina, and then he was cut and brought on to Miami. So we're not talking about Ndamukong Suh, who's done like a ton to win teams games. We're talking about maybe a mid-level guy, who makes a mistake, loses his arm, loses his career, and the team says, you know what, like, you're part of our family. We're going to make sure that you're taken care of in this moment. And at the end of the day, he's got to be a man and take care of the rest of his life. But they're making sure that he starts off with a good start.
Yeah, and I think from July 1st to July 5th is bad days in the NFL over the last few years.
Oh man!
Like dudes blowing off their fingers, lighting off fireworks, dudes getting into car accidents.
Yeah.
It's just tough.
Everything bad is happening in the
Yeah.
NFL. And you know what? There's a lot of drama going on. I didn't really want to get into the drama side of the NFL on this episode, but there's just been so many players getting in trouble real recently, and it's been sad to see. But I'm hoping that once the season starts, it turns back around.
Yep.
So with that being said, we'll go on to some. I'm going to call it funnier news. So Mark Sanchez.
Your best news.
Yeah, the best news. The best news is that Mark Sanchez has decided to grace the NFL by retiring Mr. Butt Fumble. That's what you're known for, is the butt fumble. You've created that, so congratulations to you. But he retires, and he becomes a college football analyst for ABC, ESPN. Give us your take.
Well, I really like that. Because I followed Mark Sanchez's whole career when he was at USC.
Yeah.
He was a savage at USC. Like, top-notch quarterback.
Yeah.
I liked him a lot. But in his first 2 seasons when he came into the NFL, he made the AFC Championship twice.
He did.
I give him that. But then he went 33 and 29 and 62 starts. But he's 4-2 in the playoffs. And then right after that third season, he just went downhill. And he played 2 games in his last season. In the last 2 seasons, he played 2 games. He only threw for 138 yards with 3 interceptions.
3 interceptions.
Over the last 10 years, he's 37 and 36 as a starter, 86 TDs, and 89 interceptions. So it's like,
oh my God.
So it's like for Mark Sanchez, we call him the ultimate journeyman because he's been on 6, 7 different NFL teams.
He's been on about 6 teams.
Yeah. So I'm not going to lie to you. I love Mark Sanchez, the guy, quarterback at USC, but Mark Sanchez in the first 2 seasons in the league. Yeah. But as for anything else, no, I can't do it, Mark Sanchez.
Yeah,
good luck.
I was actually surprised when I read that Mark Sanchez made it to the AFC championship his first 2 seasons. And, thinking about it, I'm like, oh, yeah, he did do that. But it's like...
He beat your guy Brady. Beat my guy Peyton. He got a good resume as far as his first 2 years.
And he looked like he was on the rise.
He was onto something.
Yeah, and then he had a coaching change, and maybe I do say this a lot, that any player that comes in the NFL that doesn't succeed, a lot of times it has to do with the coaching, and it's not necessarily bad coaching, but the wrong coaching for that player. A coach can make or break a player. And it's not, and like I said, I don't necessarily take that as a negative thing. Not every player is meant to be coached by every coach. So everybody has their ups and downs. You see that with players all the time. They're really good on one team, really bad on another. Really bad on one team, really good on another. And it usually boils down to coaching.
It's all about playing styles too,
Yeah. Systems, everything has to fit. Even like Nick Foles, he had such a bad career. He comes into Eagles, they go run pass option, and he's amazing, and he gets himself a nice contract with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And maybe that's what happened with Mark Sanchez. Maybe Rex Ryan was the only coach in the NFL that could get the best play out of him. But
that's because Rex is actually, I like Rex.
I like Rex.
I love Rex as a coach.
He's a defensive coach, though.
Yeah, but the thing about Rex is he always brings in that college style of offense for the guys. You get what I'm saying? He believes in that college style of offense because he controls the defense and all that.
Yeah.
But as far as his OCs is always like a more college style, not more like a traditional style NFL.
He's a player's coach.
Yes.
I've heard that's the expression they use for him. He's a player's coach. But I don't know. I don't think I've ever been able to back him up.
People don't realize is when you're a player's coach, you get the most out of the players. Because some people just don't want to be like drill masters. That goes in one ear and out the other.
Yep.
But when you're a player's coach and you can actually relate, like if I can relate to Craig on anything as a coach, he's going to be geared towards me and stick to me.
It's more personal.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Yeah. Compared to like dudes that just want to drill you. You're like, man, you're a drill sergeant, bro. Like, get out of here. Like,
and then you have the players, because I think that's the difference between him and Belichick. I think Belichick is, in some ways, the drill sergeant. This is what he wants, and only the players who can handle that succeed there.
But I think what Belichick is, he's more like nowadays, he's more 50-50. Because he knows how to skate that thin line between love and hate. And people always will say he's a drill sergeant because the way his system is. But then again, as a player, you can say he's a player's coach due to the simple fact is he's not going to let his players get out of line.
Yeah.
And he's going to talk to you. He's going to treat you like if he's your parent.
Yeah.
Things like that. So
I agree.
He can keep you on the right path. So therefore, I would give him a 50-50 deal more than so I'll be like, oh yeah, you're just a drill sergeant. Because no, when you come into New England, you know what's expected out of you. You know what you have to do. You know what it takes to win, and you know the system. And when you get those 4 things down pat, then you don't care what the coach is talking about because you're believing. Like there's like what people don't realize is like everybody that played football, and all my football guys out there would totally agree with me. Everybody who played football, you have those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coaches that you run through a wall for.
Yeah. Okay.
You're not gonna ask no questions. A coach will be like, yo, jump off this 20-foot roof. You're just gonna jump. Why? Because you believe in what that coach told you. And you believe in everything that he's been telling you your whole career or half your career or a little bit that he's been in your career. So that's the change, and that's how Bill Belichick is like, he can meet you today and be like, yo, run through this wall for me. You're gonna do it. Why? Because you got those rings. I can't tell you nothing. I can't just be like, yo, this coach is horrible. He sucks. Like, no. It's Bill Belichick you're talking about. You're talking about a champion. You mean you talk about someone who built damn near a dynasty. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, whatever he says, his word is born.
Yeah.
And that's the difference with him than a lot of other coaches. So I would give him the 50-50, whereas yes, he's a drill sergeant because he's gonna yes, he's a drill sergeant because he's gonna get what he wants out of you. But at the end of the day, he can relate to you too. And that's big.
And I think there's that factor that I think his players know how much he cares for them. So
yes.
I think I see your point, and I definitely can agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
Can't never say nothing negative about my man Bill. All right. So Mark Sanchez, thank you for all that you brought to us especially
Not
the
all,
butt fumble.
the little bit of that you brought to
Yeah.
us, because you only did it for a short
Your
time.
two good seasons.
Yeah.
And a butt fumble.
Yeah.
The butt fumble.
The butt
Just
fumble.
remember that.
That happened versus the pass too, right?
To be honest with you, I can't remember.
He ran into a
player.
yeah, that was versus the Pats.
It
A
was?
scoop and score. Yeah. That was versus the Pats.
It's
Yeah.
great. I love it. He made it even better because I definitely forgot who
Yep.
it was against. All right, next on the list is some big news. My man's over here predicted it, but I did not, and that is Tyreek Hill gets no suspension. The NFL, after investigating, could find no evidence of his guilt and therefore could not punish him. Tell me. Yes. It's great news.
This is why you got to watch the Endzone. You watch the Endzone because we give you aspects and reasoning that a lot of shows wouldn't give you. And on this show, we don't judge. And on this show, we talked about this, and me and Craig, I changed Craig's mind to believe that this guy wasn't going to get a suspension, and if he was, it was going to be 1 or 2 games. So now let me get into what happened. So in this situation, you had his wife or baby mom or fiance, whoever you want to call her. She lied so much on him that it all came out to the point where she was lying.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, the news, the media outlet only shows you a 5-6 minute conversation between them.
Yeah.
But in reality, there was a whole 12-minute conversation on that situation. So there's things like that. And I'm not saying, and don't get me wrong, females, domestic is one of the biggest things
Yeah, we're not saying that the part of the conversation that was bad was right. It was wrong.
Yes, it was wrong. Absolutely. I
But
absolutely agree.
people say some pretty heinous things all the time.
Yes.
It's whether or not you act on
But
them.
I'm happy due to the simple fact is they finally found a female at guilt and didn't jeopardize another young man from his career. And that's what makes
100.
me happy, is due to the simple fact is, like we say, NFL laws is bigger than the regular laws that we deal with on the street.
Yeah.
But
They need less proof.
exactly. But the police, from where he was from, didn't press no charges on him.
Yep.
Didn't do nothing about it.
Correct.
The radio stations aired out that 12-minute video, and when they aired out that 12-minute video, all of them had a different change of views. And then now the NFL heard the 12-minute video, heard his statements, heard her statements, and then they didn't do nothing about it. So you just got to bury this where it's at. You can't say he's a bad father, bad guy, because nowadays if kids get spankings, they'd be a lot better.
Oh,
and
man.
that's what a lot of these kids is missing. Growing up, I had spankings, Craig had spankings.
Dad
That's
had
how I
some
was back in the
spankings.
80s and 90s.
If I didn't have no spankings, I might be one of those statistical black men in jail or in prison.
Exactly. So nowadays in the 2000s, in the 80s and 90s, you can do that. Now in the 2000s, you can't even blow on your kid because he can go to school and say, "Oh, daddy hit me, mommy hit me," and then DCF's involved and all this extra stuff.
And once that happens, it's never over.
It's never over. So therefore, I'm just happy that the situation ended the way it was because it gives a lot more people hope. Like, a lot of these guys gotta know how to move the proper way.
Yeah.
And for Tyreek Hill, his job is to stay out of trouble the rest of his career because this will always come back and haunt him.
Yeah.
Whether it's a year from now or 5 years from now, when he's in the league and he do something, this situation will always come back up.
Yeah.
So you better stay out the way, do whatever you gotta do to get out the way, and don't let this situation haunt you again. Because if it comes back up and it haunts you again, let it motivate you. Because if this situation comes back again and haunt you, you're done. His whole career is done.
Yeah.
If he goes out there and do anything, he's done.
Yeah, it's not going to be a good look for him.
Yes.
It's going to be a problem. And I will say this, is that I have to now make an edit or part retraction of a previous situation we talked about, and that is where the Kansas City Chiefs lie in the playoffs. And I think we might have either a repeat of Kansas City and the Patriots, or I might have to still go with, Kansas City and the Cleveland Browns in the AFC Championship, and then send the Cleveland Browns to. I'm not saying Kansas City to the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
but I will say that they have with Tyreek Hill on board for a full season, their chances of making it repeating the AFC Championship just skyrocketed right to the top.
But I also like what they did too with Kansas City, as in they were like, he's on a contract year.
Yeah.
So they didn't go out there and re-sign him or anything like that.
Well, that was what I was gonna say next.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm jumping the gun.
Is that we got Tyreek Hill, no suspension. We're back. So now you're thinking best wide receiver on the team. We're gonna get him that extension, but no. They decided that there's a possibility they might make the move to next year, 2020. The possibility of trading Tyreek Hill. What do you think about that?
I don't think, me personally, it's all speculation.
Yeah.
But I don't think that they're going to trade him or get rid of him. But I think they just want him to play this year out just to see where his mind is. Just to see, because, all right, he beat this charge.
Yeah.
Now you go and give this man $40-50 million. Now you as an organization look bad.
Yes.
But if he goes out there and balls up this year and do what he got to do and I'm not saying he has to put up the same statistical numbers as last year, but if he puts it up close enough, then you can pay him, because now you can say he well deserved it because he did that work.
Yeah.
But as far as you just signing him to a big deal now, it doesn't look good for your franchise.
And
so I like how they did that.
Yeah, he's under the gun. He just went through this huge drama. So, like, he doesn't really have a leg to stand on when it comes to contract talks. Because if he's like, oh, I'm going to hold out this year, they're going to say, okay, let me see what team wants you. Because,
then they're going to trade him off.
Then they're going to trade him off. So
but I don't think he will do that, because even still, he went through all of this. They kind of still stuck by his side.
They did.
You know, like,
I mean, because they
never gave up on him. Yeah.
They didn't drop Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
And they did at one point, even during this whole mess, they did one point have a moment of saying maybe we'll extend his contract. There were talks that it was going to be possible. I think personally that I think because of his chemistry with Patrick Mahomes, the fact that they came in together, I think it would be not smart to extend him. But what I am hearing is that the likelihood that the reason why they might trade him is because next year they got to pay Mahomes and they got to give him the bag. Patrick Mahomes, number one paid quarterback next year. And then they also got to pay, I think, Ford. Is that who they that's who they got from the Seahawks? They're gonna have to pay him. They got guys they gotta pay, so they might not be able to keep Tyreek Hill. I think it would not be.
But just think about it like this: if you're a GM, right, and you got someone like Tyreek Hill, and he puts up last year's numbers, you're not getting rid of that.
I agree with you. I don't think you can.
I don't care what they say; they're not gonna get rid of that. They can't.
I think you gotta work. I think you gotta work out a deal that has like incentives or something. I think that if he can perform,
and a guy like Patrick Mahomes, he could do Brady way. He might take a pay cut just to have him still there.
How
you get
crazy?
What I'm saying?
I mean, that would put him on a whole nother level if he says, "Listen, I don't need the bag. I need players on my team." And that's the reason why these quarterbacks right now, in the future they're gonna fail, is because they're not like Brady. Brady didn't want the bag; he wanted the players on his team. And I think that any quarterback that tries to get their $30 million is just doing their team a disservice. Yeah. And you don't actually care about your team; you just care about your financial situation. And at the end of the day, if you got a family and you got a life, okay, whatever, it is what it is.
I think Mahomes is a smart man, and he will take a pay cut in order to have a better team than to worry about how much money he's getting paid.
He's trying to break records. He's not trying to.
Because someone like him, when Brady's out the league, he's going to make a lot of money off of endorsements and stuff like that. So money's not going to be an issue to him.
No. So we'll see what happens. Tyreek Hill, no suspension. Possible trade rumors, possible extension, but we will see what happens throughout the season. But I think that we're going to see big things from Tyreek Hill. Anytime someone has drama around their name, they come back to with a vengeance. So we'll see what happens. All right, now we have some more drama. Drama in Los Angeles. The Chargers and Melvin Gordon are at a stalemate right now. Melvin Gordon, he wants to get paid. He wants that extension. And he says if he doesn't get it, he's going to hold out. And then if they do not make it happen, he's going to request a trade. What do you think the Chargers do in this situation?
Well, I think it's tough. This is one of the toughest things because with him, he's on the final year of his rookie contract. which is tough. But
And they have 2 years of franchise tags that they can put on them.
yeah, but you played in 2 Pro Bowls.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Over the last few seasons, you put out 28 touchdowns over the last 3 seasons, and you was injured. You know what I mean? Like, injuries did take a part in you. He's a great running back, catching the ball out the backfield,
And he's only gotten better at that.
and he got better at that. But at the end of the day, it's like, I don't know which way to point the direction for him, due to the simple fact is a lot can happen. Does he stay healthy the whole season if he stays healthy the whole season? I don't care if you make him the highest paid running back if he stays healthy the whole season. But if he goes down and get injured again for you.
And I think that's his point.
Yeah.
I think he wants his money before the season starts. And to be honest
Just to
with
protect
you,
himself.
Yeah, to protect himself. And I see both sides of the plate. Melvin Gordon got hurt end of the season. He got the knee injury, and it was the first time he got a big injury. And now he's like, this is the end of my rookie contract. I want to get paid before I start this season, just in case I get hurt game 6. I want to make sure that I get my guaranteed money. I want to make sure that I'm getting such and such dollars a year. I understand that. But if I'm the Chargers, I'm like, bro, you just got hurt. And now you asking for the bag?
Yes.
Like, I need you to turn it down a second.
Yeah.
I need you to turn it down.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, does this offense work the way it works without Melvin Gordon? Are they not only a playoff contender, but are they a Super Bowl contender without Melvin Gordon?
I don't think so, but I think they can work it out. I
Maybe
think they'll work it out. They'll work it out.
I have a few. I mean, because it's got to come via trade, and it's got to be a team that could pay him his money. And I think there's a lot of teams that could, 1, offer up a first-round draft pick, 2, offer up a player who might not necessarily take the place of Melvin Gordon, but soften the blow. One of the top teams that comes to my mind is Houston. Houston could really use that. They have a high-powered offense, but their run game is suspect. You send Lamar Miller in a first-round draft pick and get Melvin Gordon, you now become you become a team that looks like they can steal a Super Bowl. Another team that comes to my mind, same division, Indianapolis. They send Marlon Mack over with a first-round draft pick, and they get Melvin Gordon. I'm afraid to play them.
Yes.
A team like Tennessee who can send over Derrick Henry in a first-round draft pick. Now you ain't going to get a high-level running back, but you get a power back. Maybe that helps the game out a little bit. And a couple honorable mentions, New England, Miami, Chicago, Green Bay, Atlanta, and Tampa Bay. All teams that could use a high-level running back and who would probably be willing to give up a first-round draft pick to get him.
But I just don't think they're getting rid of him.
I don't think they do either.
He's part of that club, so I don't think they're going to get rid of him. I think they're going to sit down, and when they sit down, they're going to let him know, like, yo, you ball out this year, we'll pay you that max deal, but it all depends on what you do this year. And if he goes to another team, he's going to take less money.
Oh, I absolutely believe it.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like, if it's about, is it about trying to win a championship or is it about money? Is what we keep on talking about. And if you're about your championship, me personally, I would stay there, ball out, boom. But then injuries occur because he's injury prone. So
exactly.
I just don't know how to take it, honestly.
I don't know. I think, to be honest with you, I really would love to see him go to Houston. When I first saw that, you think Deshaun.
We all love the craziest things of the craziest things, but
Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins, Melvin Gordon.
In reality, we got to keep it realistic.
Yeah,
and keeping it realistic is like, I think they keep him.
I hope, to be honest with you, I do hope they keep him because I like that offense. I think that's a really strong offense.
And they gel well.
They got the pieces put together. Phillip Rivers, this is the best opportunity he has at a ring. They've really developed that defense as well. This is his best shot, and I think the waves you're causing. I understand why you're bringing up the waves, but I think that let your contract go out and then see if you could pull off this season, you're gonna get that. You are gonna get that max deal.
Yeah.
You might not get more than Gurley. You're probably gonna get 85% of what Gurley got, but you're gonna get that paycheck. And you're gonna get that guaranteed money. So I think he needs to just slow down a little bit and let it play out.
Absolutely.
So we'll see what happens with that. Melvin Gordon, let's hope he plays. I know I didn't get a chance to say it on the flex, but his fantasy value drops right now because of the situation. But if he plays out, if he holds out, that's even worse. So be careful in drafting Melvin Gordon in your fantasy league. All right, next. This was probably, I think, the biggest surprise to me is that Tom Brady, for the first time in his career, is going to go into a contract year. No extension on the horizon for Tom Brady. And as a fan, I got to say, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
What you got to really, at this point, it's year to year.
With him, what people don't realize is it's not like he's 5 years ago Tom Brady. He's at the end of his career.
Yeah.
So the most he's going to give you is another year or two, and then you just got to accept for what he's going to give you.
Oh, yeah.
But at the end of the day, to go out here and sign him for a 3 to 5 year contract, it's worthless.
It's worthless.
So just let him be him.
Because any year could be his last year.
Yeah,
I think from this point on, it's about the franchise tag.
Facts.
It's gonna and I think that he's gonna he's gonna be like, yeah, franchise tag. I think he knows at this point I personally, as a Patriots fan, would not understand extensions.
Absolutely.
For Tom Brady. You got to put the franchise tag on him. You got to just give him his max pay per season, and it's like, year-to-year contract, and no matter what, even if he has a crappy year this year, he's gonna get it next year. He probably has to have the worst season. He has to have a Brett Favre final season in order for him to get cut from the New England Patriots. So I am not upset. I am not worried. I think that it makes complete and total sense.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then we have to talk about the incident. Me personally, anybody who's mad about this incident, either you're not really a parent, or you hate Tom Brady, or you just like to talk trash. You just like to troll. But Tom Brady meets his daughter at the edge of a cliff, and they count down to jump off said cliff, and the daughter hesitates.
But who cares?
Yes! Man? Who cares?
Who cares about that? It was in Costa Rica on a family vacation, chilling.
And let's be honest, if Tom Brady thought what happened was like this terrible thing, why would he post the video? If he thought, Tom Brady has people. He has people. Like, he has these people who say, listen, Tom, you just yanked your daughter off of a cliff. Yeah. People are going to react poorly to this. Don't post it. No, they were like, bro, that was hilarious.
Oh yeah.
And if
they probably jumped off that cliff 5-6 times after that. So who cares?
It happened.
Who cares? You're in Costa Rica, drinking margaritas, chilling.
And we know Tom Brady has integrity. If his daughter got hurt, he's not posting that video.
Exactly.
When his daughter came down, she was probably like, "Daddy, you pulled me off."
Yeah, that's it.
There's no drama around this. I've been hearing on the radio.
I don't even care for that, because, like you said, as a parent, man, like, the do's and don'ts, and if he thought it was gonna be a certain way, he wouldn't have posted.
Exactly. That's it. So to me, it's just more Patriots fun, a great Tom Brady moment. For other people, it ended up being something that they tried to use against them. But at the end of the day, it was all fun. We love Tom Brady still. I love Tom Brady still. Yes. Correction. But yeah, check out the video. To me, it was hilarious, because she definitely got yanked off that cliff with no hesitation. It was great. All right, now we move on to just a quick little bit of information. A lot of guys on the PUP list, a lot of unexpected guys on the PUP list.
But what people don't realize about the PUP list is just they're physically unable to perform.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
just a precautionary thing. You can still. You can't practice, but you could do everything else. So
you can do drills. You just can't run plays.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not 100% knowing about all that type of stuff, but I do believe that, like you're saying, it's about play. You can't run plays. Huh?
Yeah, use the bathroom.
You got to use the bathroom?
Yeah.
Are you gonna take off? Okay, we're gonna let AC run out for a minute. I'm gonna take the reins. All right, so on the PUP list, we have on the Patriots, we got Demaryius Thomas. which I think that was 100% expected. He came off of a really bad injury last year that ended his season. Going over to Houston. Patriots sign him. They knew this from the beginning that it was gonna be rough for him. Next on the list is Clinton Dix. That's probably a little rough. I don't think that they expected for him to end up on the physically unable to perform list, but he's on it. J.J. Watt, big time right there. And J.J. Watt does have problems with injuries. I think he actually played out the whole season last year, but he has had trouble with the injuries. He's starting off training camp on the PUP list. Another Patriot on the PUP list is Sony Michel. Now, this could be just a simple case of what happened last year. His knee gets drained. He needs time to recuperate. So we might see him on the field as early as week 1, week 2. I don't know what to expect with this situation, but we got Sony Michel, PUP. And then finally, I think the biggest name on the PUP list, perfect timing for my boy Ace, the biggest name on PUP list, DeAndre Hopkins, is going to start the season on the physically unable to perform list. So what do you think about D-Hop being on this list?
I don't care.
Yeah, it doesn't mean too much. I'm
going to just tell you, it's just because, like, at the end of the day, like we said, it's just, you still get to do film and all that type of stuff with the team and that type of stuff, but you just can't practice with them. And that's just because they're trying to protect you from injury. Yeah,
they don't want it to get worse.
Some people get banged up, and some people, when they get banged up, then they put them on that list, but they just do that just for, like you said, precautionary things.
Correct.
So it just really means nothing.
All right, and while we're talking about the PUP list, we kind of hit on it a little bit. J.J. Wilcox, the safety for Atlanta Falcons, tears his ACL, out for the season. Tell me what that means for Atlanta.
Yeah, that's tough. But I think it was tough that he tore his ACL, but then again, on the flip side, you signed 2 good guys on defense.
Yeah.
So for that void, they actually helped themselves out a little bit. Mm-hmm. Atlanta's young over there in the secondary, but I think that this will help. And
now, do we think that because I think isn't Reed still available? Is it Ed Reed? Who was it that? Who's that? He played for Kansas City. I know it's something Reed.
I think it might Jordan Reed maybe.
No,
it's not Ed Reed, because Ed Reed was Baltimore legend.
Wait, maybe he was on Baltimore. No, I don't remember who. No. Why can't I think of him? But I know that there's a safety, a big name safety that's been out. It was the dude who went out with Colin Kaepernick. He played for the 49ers.
Oh, okay. I forget his name, though. But his last name is Reed, yes.
I thought it was Ed Reed.
No.
No?
You think about Ed Reed, the legend that played with Ray Lewis and them guys.
Oh, now I'm looking up. We got time.
Yes,
I'm looking this guy up.
But at the end of the day, if they bring him in, that can help them a lot, because they need that safety help, and I think that will be great for them. What is Eric
Reed? Oh, wait a minute, no. Eric Berry. That's who I'm thinking about.
Eric Berry. He played at KC.
Yes, he played at KC. That made Eric Berry is the free safety. I think he's still available.
He's a
so
savage.
maybe that's who they bring in.
He's a savage.
Yeah,
bro.
Man. That's who Eric Berry is. Who
he's been around the league for a while.
Yeah, he has been.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, he got cut. I don't know if he got hurt at the end of the season or whatever. But
Eric Berry, he's always been struggling with injuries.
Yeah.
And then I know in KC, something happened over there. I don't know if it was his mental health or injuries, that something happened that took him off of KC. Mm-hmm. But he's a great athlete. He's a great player.
And he's a free agent.
He's a ball hawk.
Yeah. He's a free agent. So, you lose the likes of J.J. Wilcox, you bring in Eric Berry, and I think that, it's comparable enough to keep your defense in contention. So I don't know what Atlanta's going to do, but this is definitely a huge, even though that they've secured some guys, it's definitely a hit to their team. So
that front seven in Atlanta's looking nice, though.
It is looking nice. Because they're young and they're fast, man.
What I love is, like, man, you've been talking, like, people don't realize how hard it is to come out here and talk about, like, football knowing that there's not a lot of content, knowing that not a lot of things happen, but to look inside of different, like what we do every week, me and Craig both, look inside different NFL teams and seeing what they actually have on paper and kind of putting that, like me personally, I'm a football guy, so I try to put that into perspective on what they have on paper. A lot of teams is going to be tough this year in the NFL, and it's going to be a great season. I think this 100, because it's the 100-year anniversary in the NFL, I think this might be the best year yet.
I honestly, you kind of took the words out of my mouth. I wasn't thinking about saying it today, or I didn't know when I was gonna say it, but I can't disagree with you. When we were doing the playoff bracket, how hard it was to say these are the 6 teams that I think are gonna progress into the playoffs. Man, there are so many good teams. Like the teams we left out of that list, and then because we had to do a list of potential potential teams that could sneak their way into the playoffs.
So this is week 13. We did that about week 8, 9?
I think we did it week 9. Yeah.
Week 9? Now, over from week 9 to week 13, look how much that changed.
Yeah.
Now we got to throw KC in there.
Got to throw KC deeper into it, yeah.
Things like that, like we wasn't expecting that type of stuff. Like, so it was like we may have to do it again before the season start up.
We might have to do it during preseason, or maybe even during the regular season. We might have to revisit it as we see teams do what they're doing. But I mean, this has been crazy, and the season just looks so bright. I feel like the excitement for this show and what we're going to be able to bring to the table once the season starts it's going to be really nice. If you're watching the show, I think you're gonna be in for a treat once the season starts, because we're going to have so much more to talk about on a different level than your normal ESPN, NFL Network. You know, we're not into that formality. We like to dive deep into the situation from a standpoint that isn't paid for.
Exactly.
You know, we're not trying to say things that are right for other people. We're just trying to bring you the game as we see it and talk about it from
the most content that we can possibly give you.
Exactly. We're trying to give you as much as possible. And I mean, once the season starts, we're going to be having, off-show content as well. Yep. You know, we got the website that we're building up, and once the season starts, we're going to have a lot to share for you. And before we jump off of that, I also want to just say real quickly, the Green Bay Packers have extended Dean Lowry. We don't have a lot of details, but he had his breakout season last year. He gets his extension, so that's really good. But another part of great news is this is the last week without a game. You know, next week we're going to be talking about the upcoming week 1 of preseason.
Yes, I can't wait.
You know, rookies, undrafted free agents, all this stuff that's going to be going on.
It's going to be hectic.
Recaps of games, like there's going to be so much information. It's going to be so hard to decide what content to talk about.
But the great thing about it is like we're just, for all the fans that actually watch us every week or fans that watch us every other week, we're just building more and more and more onto this brand. And you got to love what's happening, because once the season comes, we'll be giving you a couple picks. Whether it's college, we haven't even touched on college football yet, and that's coming. So whether it's 3 picks from college, 3 picks from NFL, so you can go to your local bookie or whatever like that, and you want to, hey, take AC's pick, take Craig's pick. You never know what can happen. It can make you make money. And things like that.
It is going to be wild.
Yeah, it's going to be wild. And just like the ideas that we have that we're juggling around and stuff like that, it's great, man. It's great. And we've been doing this since.
Been doing about 3 months now.
Yeah, 3 months without nothing from the NFL draft on, and we've been giving it to you every week, consistently, every week. And we're going to continue giving it to you every week, and we're going to continue to give you the best possible content we can. Yes.
So we love the support we're getting, and we always want to get more.
Feedback. Yeah. Feedback's been amazing. Everybody out there that's been giving amazing feedback, I really appreciate it. Craig appreciates it. We talk about it all the time. Me and him shoot each other texts on a regular, like, hey, this and that. Like,
and what we also have to look forward to is once the season starts, we're going to have guests. I'm going to bring people on
special guests
to talk football. You know, I have people dying to be on this show once the season starts. So
you know what's crazy? I got about 8 people, 10 people lined up, ready to go.
Ready to go.
But it's like, it's almost gonna be like, okay, you're gonna sit right here, and me and Craig is gonna bash you. So you better be ready. Like,
you better be ready, man.
You got your one shot of fame, so be ready for your one shot of fame because I'm gonna pick your brain apart from a player's point. Craig's gonna pick your brain apart from a fan point. And then you're just gonna be sitting here. We don't want you sitting here looking dumb. So if you do have the opportunity, come prepared. Prepare like how we prepare. Like we don't take this lightly. We prepare. Anything we do, we prepare it. And that's the biggest thing about it is preparing. You want to come prepared. You want to come ready to go. You want to sound as educated as possible, and you just want to,
and
try to beat us.
Most importantly, for this show, you can see with us. We want to have fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to enjoy yourself on this show, and because we enjoy this every day. We talk about how much fun we have after every show, and when we see each other outside of the show, it's so much fun. We enjoy doing this for you guys. We want to keep doing it for you for as long as possible.
Absolutely.
For the foreseeable future, we hope that we can grow this into its own brand, into its own recognition. So we look forward to every upcoming episode. Make sure you're checking us out on social media at GymBagENT on Facebook, at GymBag_ENT on Instagram, hashtag GymENT for Twitter. And then, Gymbag Entertainment on YouTube and GymBagEntertainment.com. GymBagEntertainment.com is so close to being full of content. Our guy, he's just,
It's almost there.
Yeah, he's almost there. He's got the information. He's just waiting for the format. Part of that is on me. Really need to sit down and talk about what we want. But we're gonna be full of information for you guys in the near future.
Yeah.
So
and a lot of my fans out there too that I gotta say is our fans because they watch our show is that if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, I don't have to send it to you every week. You're just gonna see when it happens. So a lot of people be like, "Oh, you haven't sent me the show." Like I'd be crazy busy. So if you just subscribe to the channel, then you'll see when it's posted. Because sometimes, honestly, Craig will tell you, he'll text me Friday, I won't respond back to him till Sunday because sometimes I just get so caught up into everything I got going on. I know he got a lot going on, but somehow, some way we managed to get it to go. But it's like just subscribe, like, share.
We know each other's on our game, so we don't have to be in constant contact with each other. We just need to know that we know
you
what we're
ready?
doing.
You be like, you ready? I'm ready, bro. I'm ready.
But we do appreciate all you that do like, subscribe, and even view. We appreciate all that. We just need more of it. And definitely, I post every episode not only on YouTube but on the Gymbag Entertainment Facebook page. So definitely check out that, like it, share it, subscribe, and we appreciate everything you guys do for us. And that's all the content we have for today.
Yes.
So until next week, we're gonna see you in the end zone.
See you in the end zone.
Have a good night.